Hello world, you're watching 80s Music Twin Ranked. I'm Joel,
I'm Chris,
and today we're discussing the artists known as the Police.
formerly known as the Police.
Formerly known as the Priests.
The Priest.
The Police, hard to say. Anyways, it's three people. One named Sting, but his name is actually Gordon Sumner. And then there's Andy Summers.
I know, I always thought that was
And
funny.
then Stuart Copeland.
Yeah, but everybody knows him as Sting. And did you see why they call him Sting?
Yeah, he wore some outfit that made him look like a wasp.
Yeah, he wore a yellow and black striped shirt. I know. Have you ever had a nickname people called you because of something? I remember in high school, I used to put mousse in my hair and slick it back, and people started calling me Slick.
Really?
For a time, yeah.
No.
Didn't last, but it
No,
was.
I don't know that I want a nickname.
But I'm saying, okay, so they start, hey, Sting, because he looks like a bee or a wasp, whatever. And then it sticks. He likes the name.
Yeah, well, once you join a band, you're the one calling yourself that. The people that originally called you,
Yeah.
they're no longer in the picture, right? So yeah, you got Yellow Jackets, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the Bumblebee, who it's a yellow and black bee. Why a wasp? You know, I don't know, they don't look like they have the black and white outfit, do they? A wasp?
Some of them,
That's
I
what it
don't
says.
know.
I don't know, but they sting, obviously.
Well, that's it. So he's not called Wasp. He's
No.
he's
No.
called what they do.
Guaranteed there's a heavy metal band out there called Wasp, though, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there is. Anyways, but we're only talking about the Police, not Sting's solo career because he has a
Because
lot.
after they broke up with the Police, he really didn't do much.
Yeah, and
So.
this was the first cassette I ever bought.
He
was
never
the
did
Police.
get big. So.
Sting. Never. The Police got really big though, and then they folded immediately. It's like what?
As soon as they got really
Best of them, and we're done. I don't know. I bought that. We were 13. So
they were going through lots of tensions. I mean, every time they recorded an album, at least the last couple albums, they were each in different rooms.
yeah, that sounds actually pretty cool to do it that way.
Yeah, because your particular instrument you could hear. Sting said when he did the bass, if he did it with them, it sounded like a frog farting. Is what he said.
Right, I remember reading that. But yeah, it said Stuart Copeland set up his drums in a dining room. Hopefully they removed the table and chairs working around that. But so this band started out in 1978, originally before they actually put out hits from French Guy. And I don't know if that's maybe where they got their reggae. I'm not sure why they got reggae. But
that and punk, they're kind of like a combination.
now punk I can see. Their music really doesn't sound like punk to me. But, his look, at least Sting's look, he looks like a punk guy.
The record company had them all dye their hair blonde
Yes.
for some reason.
Yeah.
And so,
And Andy Summers, he's like a decade older than everybody else.
yeah.
He's the one that said, hey, let's only be a trio.
Right, he kind of forced the other guitarist out of the band.
Yeah.
And the guy was in the Police before they even had the album, the first
Right,
album. So.
right. Yeah, and so
Although
I
he's played with them since.
think there was one song of his that got on the Fallout. That was him.
And he joined up with them later when they
I don't remember.
got together. Right? Not any albums,
Yes,
just like
yes.
live performance.
So they started in 1978, and less than a decade later they were done. Well, they were done even before 1986.
All their albums until they did Ghost of the Machine, they have a name that they call Franglish. So it must be like French sounding, English sounding together.
Yeah, and you can
Zenyatta Mandata was
Is
a
for
totally
sure.
made up word.
Totally made up.
Both words are a combination of two other things. So they're like Zen and
Right,
then
and some other person they knew, I think, their last name.
yeah. So
Yeah, it's a Regatta de Blanc is white reggae.
right.
An Outlaws
Outlandish
of
tomorrow,
love.
yeah.
So yeah, unlike ZZ Top, who legitimately had Spanish titles, those mean nothing. So they get to Ghost in the Machine. So they had 5 albums, so they're similar to Boston, who we just did.
Yeah.
But they had theirs within one decade, not 3.
Boston had the 3 albums really that were the big ones. Well, I used the 4th one had a hit, but really the first 3. Once you got past 3rd stage, I didn't consider it there. their
Correct.
albums.
Yeah, and funny, Police did, unlike Boston, Police did not get big immediately. And I've never understood.
No, but they were called, once Synchronicity came out, they were called the biggest band in the world almost.
Yeah.
We were saying they could have been.
Yeah, and then once they played Shea Stadium, Sting said they played on Mount Everest.
Yeah, so that means it was going to be downhill from here.
And maybe he would have been right.
Yeah,
I suppose. But yeah, hard to say. Synchronicity is not their best album. If you disagree, you are an idiot.
I disagree. I think it's their best album. I like it. You had it. We played it all the time. So, what do you think is their best album?
No, I said if you don't think that.
I'm sorry. I thought you said it's not their best album.
No, put that above my head if I didn't say that. Synchronicity is their best album.
Okay, yeah. The way you said it, I thought you were saying it is not their best album. If you think it is, you're an idiot. I'm like, wait, I think it is. You think I'm an idiot?
No, if it's not your number one album, yeah, go hide under a rock.
Yeah, and there's a big difference between the first side and the second side of the album, too.
Yeah, their hits mainly are on the second side.
Yeah.
Except for the best song, Synchronicity 2. Why they call it that? They never say the word synchronicity.
No, in fact, the other two members of the band are like, how do they connect? And Sting's like, refused to tell them. There is no connection. There probably isn't. They're just a title.
With the first one and the second one?
Yeah,
they
just
don't even
the
sound
title.
alike. Actually, it does. I think it might sound, if you slow the first one down, maybe it's like the second one. I don't know.
No.
But that's the last song on the first album. Maybe they should have switched and put that on the second side too.
Yeah. Favorite song on that album? Mother? Or no?
Is that the only song that...
Stuart Copeland? Is he the one that sings
No, it's
it?
Andy Summers. Is that the only song sung by somebody besides
Could
Sting?
be.
And obviously, there's the saxophone. I think Sting played saxophone.
Yes, he did.
Not good, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Spirits of the Material World, there's saxophone in there. He must be playing that. They got a piano player to come in for every little thing she does.
Oh, yeah, I remember that part. That's the only part I remember. And also that song has the correct way to play steel drums.
Right?
Not the Robert Palmer song way. So, interestingly, actually, we didn't discuss this on the Yes video. We could have. So on Synchronicity, the 3 videos. Somebody said there was a 4th video for King of Pain. Do you ever remember a video for King of Pain being out?
No.
And you go on YouTube and supposedly there is, and this is camera going through a museum. I don't think that was out way back.
No,
in the
that
80s.
wasn't. That was a fan.
Somebody said that it was out at that time. No, it wasn't. But the 3 that were out for their main songs, their main hits, directed by Godley and Cream.
Yeah.
And they have that stupid video, right?
With the faces.
They're crying, called Cry or something like that. Do you see who else they directed? No, they directed Leave It from Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they...
all 18 versions?
Maybe. I don't know, but so they got the weird one. They start off upside down or whatever. That's what their first one was. And then they did Hip to Be Square, so they have the camera angle on the drumsticks and the guitar picks and all that kind of... And what else did they do? They did View to a Kill, the James Bond Duran Duran one.
Okay, so they're more famous for directing than they're singing.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
And who's the... they did both Asia hits that we know. Obviously, they're connected to Yes. And what's the other one? I know there's one more, and I can't think of it. Oh! The one that gives you epilepsy.
Wang Chung,
Wang Chung.
everybody. Have fun
They
tonight.
did that one too. So they were all about taking the camera and doing something weird with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then as far as, Sting can you say he was ever a movie star? He was in a lot of movies, okay?
Yeah.
But
no, his biggest role probably was the guy that in Dune that fights.
yes, I forget.
Kyle
I
MacLachlan.
forget his name. I know he's got a weird name in that.
Fiend or something like
Yeah.
that.
and that came before Synchronicity, right? So they just carried over the post-apocalyptic look into Synchronicity. Yeah. So and then what else? So he was Frankenstein in the one called The Bride.
Yeah.
His first movie was in a Quadrophenia by The Who,
Right.
as Ace Face.
He had a bit part in Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, which is a Guy Ritchie film.
I'm not discussing anything after he left.
Yeah, but
The
that
police.
one, that's like Jason Statham's first.
Yeah, it's his
Film with,
debut. So yeah, people nowadays would know him. They're like, who's Dune? There was an original. You know the remake.
Oh, there's a miniseries too.
That's yeah. And then so Andy Summers was in something. He was in Another You, which was a Richard Pryor and G. Wilder film. And that is only interesting to me because Stuart Copeland composed See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Another Pryor Wilder film.
Andy Summers has this song. It's an instrumental.
Okay.
I believe it's from Zenyatta Mandata. I could be wrong. So it's not Ghost in the Machine or Synchronicity, but it's an instrumental called Behind My Camel.
Right. Sting refused to play.
Sting refused to play on it, so the bass you hear, and it's not special bass, but it's Sandy playing it. And so I listened to it, and I'm like, this isn't that good. Well, the producers said they think there's an in-joke because what's behind the camel?
A load of crap.
A load of crap. This song is like a load of crap.
Alright. And then they actually had two instrumentals. I think I listened to the other one, but I can't remember what it's called. Something weird. Shows. I can't even guess what the title is. It's a long title.
You're not known for their instrumentals anyway.
No, but trios are like Rush.
Yeah. Does ZZ Top have a instrumental?
Good question. Maybe. Other than
And Genesis, of course, does.
lots of yes. Okay.
Brazilian from.
When you go through their albums, you know what stood out to me before Synchronicity. Three song titles that were never released. Right, at least we think the third one wasn't. Right. So, was it on his original "Bring On the Night"?
That was Sting. Did Sting redo it? He also has
his documentary.
The documentary
is called "Bring On the Night," which I watched.
Yeah.
Wish I hadn't. I mean, most of it's good, but his wife had a birth, had to do it on film. I didn't want to see that. Actually,
And you probably go read Shadows in the Rain.
Shadows in the Rain.
Which Sting did on Dream of Blue Turtle.
Right. Yeah, and I think I know that one better. He
Yeah.
didn't release that, right? But it's because you had it. And
Yeah,
you were like,
I own. Okay, so I own Sting's Dream of Blue Turtle. You own the second one. Do you remember what it was called?
Nothing Like the Sun.
Okay, Nothing Like the Sun. I had Ghost in the Machine, and you had Synchronicity. So.
Right. So, yeah, both of us, each of us had a popular one, and then the next best of each. And then the last one, obviously, Demolition Man, which I couldn't remember if they released it
It
or
was
not.
on Ghost in the Machine, which I don't recall it being released. They
No.
say they released
No,
Invisible
but-
Sun.
But Grace Jones, who was the villain in A View to a Kill, she had, she was a musician first, and she has this video, and at the beginning is weird. 'Cause she does that.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me a lot of the Yoko Ono video. Do you remember that video where
Yes.
they're like destroying something and going around and just, yeah.
Yeah, so she's known a lot for her looks because she was like a Amazon woman. Right?
Yeah, and
Tall,
crew cut hair.
cut haircut, yeah. But she had that, and she does this weird walk before she gets on the stage, and then she does her Demolition Man. It's way slower, and apparently, the police wrote it, let her have it.
Yeah.
They didn't like it, and so they did their own.
released it, right?
Yeah, and then apparently it has some ties to the Sylvester Stallone movie. And I think the song might actually be in it.
Probably.
Demolition Man, they were in.
Yeah, Demolition Man was before Austin Powers, which has similar plot, right? Because they're both frozen,
and then
later they were thought out.
Right, just no humor in it. Well, there's a little bit of humor because Sylvester Stallone.
And if you watch Demolition Man, I don't know when's the last time, besides even the violence, it's a lot like today, and they got a lot of things right. Silencing free speech if you can't say certain things.
Yeah, and then he went up and said a whole bunch.
So you can have toilet paper.
Best scene in the movie,
Yeah.
probably, which is sad that that's the best scene or best joke in the movie, maybe. Right, but other than that, for movies, Stuart Copeland's really the bigger one, but it's behind the scenes.
He's a composer.
A bunch. Wall Street. I think his first movie was Rumble Street.
Rumblefish.
From Francis Ford Coppola. He's done 37 episodes of the original Equalizer.
Yeah,
and he actually played a pickpocket.
He's done more than one show.
He played a pickpocket in one of the episodes.
Of course.
So, pickpockets, that's an English thing, right? Being a pickpocket. Like,
I think they call
Oliver Twist.
I think they call him something else.
Yeah, and then Weird Al, you were showing me Weird Al.
Weird Al actually did 3 songs. Polka's on 45.
Which one?
Polka's on 45.
But what song?
The one off the deep end, I think. No, that wasn't it.
But I mean, this police song. Which one?
Oh, he does Every Breath You Take.
Okay.
And Polka's on 45. He does King of Suede.
Which is King of Pain.
And
that's a horrible song.
Yeah.
King of Suede.
And he does one called Velvet Elvis, which the intro sounds exactly like the intro to Don't Stand So Close to Me.
Right.
And then when the drums come in the chorus, it sort of sounds like Synchronicity too. So.
Yeah, and nothing. Well, you know what? I was gonna say nothing Christmassy, but you know what? Sting was on that Band-Aid
Do you
song.
know? Do they know it's Christmas?
Do they know it's Christmas? Yes. And also, he performed for Live Aid on the English side. It's hard to look at him and realize he's British, like.
The one that's American was Stuart Copeland.
Yeah, and he looks similar to the other guys features wise. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know this when I bought the album. I bought Ghost in the Machine, and the picture up front is 3 LED like pixelated.
I still don't see it.
Yeah, it's in the shape of their faces a little bit.
Other than
like
Sting's, pokey hair, I don't see the other 2 as faces. So.
Yeah, it's hard to see. That's why I didn't get it right away when I handed the album. Until probably the internet came around, I could look it up what it meant. Like, oh, it's their faces. Like, I didn't know that. I don't know album the whole time.
Right. So now they did this band after Synchronicity, right? And Every Breath You Take is like the most played song ever. And I agree with that. It's played too much.
Yeah, they're number
Even
1.
today.
Every Breath You Take. I read somewhere like his income for the songs being played. That's like a third.
Yeah, he's probably he'll get cash till he dies.
Yeah, well, he said that. He said he gets royalties from Every Breath You Take because he wrote it.
How much?
Every day he gets.
How much do you think he gets? If you get checks?
It passed the most played song, which.
Right.
Was it Paul Simon and Garfunkel? I think it was.
I have no idea what it passed.
I can't remember what song it was, but there was. Oh no, Righteous Brothers. You Lost That Loving Feeling was the most played, and then it surpassed it. So they have the number 1 most played song ever from BMI. I don't know what BMI stands for.
I don't know. It's some awards thing. So, 83. That's when that came out, and 80s. They were pretty practically, for all intents and purposes, they were done. Sting started his solo career in 1985. 86, they brought the singles back, and they
were going to do another album.
I don't know. And then he broke it.
He broke his collarbone.
Couldn't play drums.
And that was that.
But let me just tell you, the song they put out, the recreation of
Don't Stand So Close to Me,
is
slower,
awesome.
Yeah, but it's slower, and I remember there was a video.
With the 3 guys rotating constantly.
Yeah.
But listen to it again. It's a good remake.
Yeah.
I prefer the remake.
But I like Don't Stand So Close to Me. Anyway,
yeah, but I like the remake.
And also I think I might have mentioned this in the previous video, but Don't Stand So Close to Me, Don't Stand So Close to Me is the same way he sang I Want My MTV in Dire Straits Money for Nothing.
Yes, so he was background vocals for that. He was background vocals for 2 songs on No Jacket Required.
Yeah.
Did he do any background for anybody else?
I don't know. I do remember the slowest song on the No Jacket Required album he did.
Yeah, Turn It Off. That's not what it's called, but Turn It Off if you want. Take Me Home, you can tell that's him. And I think there's somebody else famous singing that with him in the background for Take Me Home.
Oh, another movie ties. He was also part of the trio that sang for the Three Musketeers song "All for One"?
I'm not covering that.
I know,
That's what
but
the song
I know,
was.
but for movies, yeah, we'll get to it when we do.
Because it's a trio.
yeah, no, but Bryan Adams, Rod Stewart, and Sting, they all have the wispy
Raspy,
voice.
yeah. But it is funny that they're a trio. Although I don't, Sting's the only one shown playing an instrument, even though Bryan Adams plays the guitar. Does Rod Stewart play anything?
He might. He might just be a vocalist.
Yeah. Okay. And let's see, do Christmas movies.
I think we got everything.
I think we got everything.
All right, so let's get to our
Top 10.
10.
Okay, let's get to our honorable mentions. And Police is going to be interesting because prior to Ghost in the Machine, I mean, other than Don't Stand So Close to Me, don't most of their songs prior to that sound so much alike?
Sort of. Yeah.
I mean,
Very minimalistic and music-wise. I mean,
Yes.
there's only 3 of them.
3 of them, yeah.
So-
That's kind of what I don't like about trios, is there's not a lot happening for a lot of trios. And then you got ZZ Top throws in keyboards. I'm like, who's playing the keyboards? Anyway, so same thing with the Police. We'll find out. Actually, we won't find out. But the piano. Do you remember who played the piano?
I don't remember.
Was there nobody else famous?
No, I didn't Google him too, so I don't know where he was coming from. But
Yeah, and when you see Sting playing bass on some songs, he's actually playing the legitimate bass of an orchestra, not the guitar-looking bass, but the one that stands.
not every breath you take.
That, yeah, and he's actually plucking it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I think he knows how to play that one. Yeah. All right. So the ones that you lost one, I lost 2. Okay. And I don't know where this ranks on the longest title ever. It's not the longest. I know there's a longer one, but it's when the world is running down, you do the best of what's coming around, something like that. It's like well over a dozen words in that title. That's the one you picked.
This one is a little when he goes into the verses. The verses. This is the one that sounds the most like Synchronicity, the first one.
Okay.
Synchronicity is a little bit faster, but they sing. I don't know the words.
Now, I watched all the videos yesterday. Most of their videos have a similar feel to it, you know.
Yeah.
And because of that, I can't remember which video it was.
Because
they all blended.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the one you didn't get, and then I didn't get "Can't Stand Losing You."
You see the big controversy on that. I had no idea
about suicide.
It's about suicide, but the cover.
Well, he even says that.
The cover of the single has Stuart Copeland hanging from a rope, and he's standing on a block of ice
that will eventually melt.
There was a radiator plugged in beside it, melting.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, and I'm like, I had no idea that was about suicide at all. I thought it was about a relationship.
I know, I didn't know either. And then in the video, he's wearing these monster glasses. I mean, they're like gigantic glasses. He's staring at the camera, not blinking. That's kind of funny. But I like that song more than Roxanne.
Roxanne was in a film.
What
Eddie Murphy was singing Roxanne with Nick Nolte, 48 Hours. When Nick Nolte was coming to pick up Eddie Murphy from his jail cell,
okay,
he was singing Roxanne.
Okay, and I don't think this is the Cyrano de Bergerac Roxanne. I don't think it is, because it's talking about a prostitute he's in love with.
No, the hotel he was at, they were at a hotel, there were prostitutes out on the street.
So that would be why.
But the hotel he was staying with had a poster of Cyrano de Bergerac, which is why he picked the name Roxanne.
Maybe, okay, alright. And then my other song would be do da da da.
But did you see why that's called?
Yes,
it's showing how
people latch on to simple
songs. Yes, that's like it's like. So it's
well,
like when somebody doesn't know the words, you think do
yeah.
da da da. I don't know the words, so I'm doing that.
And there's a funny scene in the TV show Frasier where he forgets the words. He starts doing that. Da, da, da. It's kind of funny. All right, so those were my two that I lost. So this brings us to our number 10 song. First song coming from Zenyatta Mondatta. That would be Driven to Tears. I have this at 12, so I don't have it in top 10. You have it at 9.
And this is a political song.
Yeah.
Just think how bad it wasn't even that bad back then compared to now.
I remember him watching something, and yeah, it's like stuff like that brings you to tears. And yeah, now we look at it as bringing me to tears because of what is happening to me. Quit it. All right. Next one up is on Regatta de Blanc, and that would be Walking on the Moon. You have this one at number 10. I have it at number 9. And the video, they're next to some space shuttle or something, and they're playing the song. It's at the Kennedy Space Center down in Florida. I could have went there, but I didn't when we were down in Florida a few years ago. Thought about, do you want to go there? It's like, no. Museum in Florida.
I'm trying to think of how this goes.
It's
is this one?
Yeah, this is there's one of their slowest songs. So this one actually doesn't sound like the rest of their stuff. Yeah. And then he repeats the
That's the thing about some of these songs is Stuart Copeland really has some good drum beats behind it, almost like a jazzy kind of.
He does, and I remember when we had Modern Drummer for the 1 year. He does
a lot of rim shots.
Yeah, and he was voted being the best drummer using a hi-hat. It's like, okay, whatever. Next one up, number 8 from Ghost in the Machine. This would be another slow one. This would be Invisible Sun. I have this at number 6. You have it at number 12. I have this at so high because it is so different sounding. And this one
counts at the beginning.
And yeah, he does. And this one I think was banned because supposedly the images in the video are from some war that was happening at the time over in Britain. But I watched it. I'm like, well, they show soldiers, but they don't like show fighting or anything. So I don't know why you would ban it, other than you think it's a political statement. Alright, so that came from Ghost in the Machine. Next one up, number 7, also from Ghost in the Machine, Spirits in the Material World. I have it at 11. You have it at 6, so this one you really like.
Not as good. I obviously like every little thing she does better. This is a weird one. It's got the violins. That's where he has the saxophone. It's like, dude, that's the beginning. Doesn't know what he's doing. It's not something straight.
Was that a violin? Or
could be keyboards.
They were big into synthesizers at this time too.
And the drums going offbeat. Yeah, so there's this hi-hat that I was like, ooh, that was a good hi-hat guy.
Yeah, if you watch Stuart Copeland in that video, I mean, he's like hunched over and really, he's like, when he gets into his hi-hat stuff in that video at least. So I can agree with the hi-hat thing. Number 6. Regatta de Blanc. This is one of their best, probably their best song from the really early ones, and that's Message in a Bottle. This one actually did rank higher than Roxanne on the chart, so I agree with that.
Yeah. I think it's from the Secret Placeman's Other Ball.
Yeah.
Where it's just Sting, him and a guitar, and he's not doing a normal
That's a live,
version.
Is that a live?
Yeah, it's a live concert, and he's doing, I believe it's acoustic guitar. He's plucking it and not doing the normal version, and he's singing it all by himself. So.
Okay. Yeah, I do.
The guy, it's not. I don't think it's actually about a guy on an island because he's talking about loneliness is what he's talking about.
Right,
like, and then all the messages come back going, "Hey, we feel the same way." It's really that's what it is.
Both of us have this at number 7, but here's my question. Okay, supposing you were on an island and you put a message in a bottle, right?
Yeah.
And somebody finds that bottle. How are they finding you? Are you giving directions to that thing?
Well, I remember BC, the comic.
All right. Oh yeah,
the guy. He would always put a message in the water, and then there'd be an answer.
That's true. That is funny. Did they have? Who was the bottle manufacturer back then?
Well, so he throws one message and a bottle goes out. And he gets 1 million responses, and they all happen to come to his island.
Right. That means the flow of the ocean, he was direct
in the middle. Yeah. How does bottle go out then?
I don't know. Okay, so next one up. King of Pain from Synchronicity. I have this one at 3, but did I say we have both at 7? Okay, I have this one at 3. You have this one at number 5. This one should have had a video. Wish it had a video, but it didn't have a video, according to me.
But, yeah, lots of weird lyrics too.
The symbolism is pretty awesome. You know, talk about the salmon frozen in a waterfall. If he's going up, it freezes on his way up. Okay. You know, skeleton choking the crust of bread.
Yeah, that's my.
So he choked. That's how he died. Obviously, he got buried with the bread still in him. That's how you find the bread in his.
They don't say the person was choking on the crust of bread.
Okay.
The skeleton is choking on crust of bread.
I understand that, but that's the only. But here's the thing: if it, yeah, because I suppose if the real person choked on the bread, their body eventually disintegrates, which is why you find the piece of bread in the skeleton. But wouldn't that bread decompose too?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, never mind. Next one up, Wrapped Around Your Finger, also from Synchronicity. I have this one.
This has a really cool video, and I always
3.
The video, right? Okay, directed by
Godly.
Yeah. Okay, so Godly Group. I was watching and I'm like, how are they doing that? Because you ever tried to do the up and down? You can't do it the way they're doing it. And so I finally read it. I'm like, the way they did it is what they filmed it sped up.
Oh, okay.
So that means he's singing the lyrics. He's singing the lyrics like this. And you know what? He wrapped around his finger. He has to sing it like that while
so
they're
they can slow it down.
And then when they slow it down,
it
matches.
Okay.
But they're kind of going in slow motion because he's like walking. Yeah, I'm like, there's no way to do that jumping. I tried. If I see my own home, nobody's watching me do it. You can't do it the way he's doing it. It's just a cool flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is another song. Sting does have good lyrics for most of his songs, but when he hit Synchronicity, he really had great lyrics.
Yeah.
This one has, all the stuff he talks about is mythological. Mephistopheles.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
cool.
not your name.
The something in Charybdis, I forget what the other one is. And then he says something that only I've heard in another song, Aerosmith, which we forgot to mention. The Other Side, do you remember that one?
Yeah, okay.
Him and this song and that one, the only 2 times I've ever heard Devil in the Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that in The Other Side?
There's a movie.
The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea.
Is there a Denzel Washington movie? No, Devil in the Blue Dress.
Right.
Not the Deep Blue Sea.
there is a Deep Blue Sea.
There's blue. And
All right, so don't know where we hit off, but Devil in the Deep Blue Sea is in this song.
And you heard it a second time.
Second time, because the first time was in Aerosmith, The Other Side. So I don't know what it means. There's got to be a meaning there. But with all the mythological stuff, with Mephistopheles, when you had said...
Mephistopheles is not your name. I know what you're up to just the same. I'm like, what? Wait, you mean if his name was Mephistopheles, it's obvious.
Yeah, right.
It's not, but I still know what you're up to. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and then...
and that has to do...
You said it was in Faust.
I said it was from Faust.
Right.
Also, I read when he was doing the lyrics for most of the songs for Synchronicity, he was big into Carl Jung novels.
He's a reader. Yeah.
So,
even on Synchronicity, on the cover, they show him reading a book.
Yeah, the Carl Jung book, I believe.
Right.
Or one of them.
And then earlier in the song, I talk about the Sorcerer's Apprentice. So he's all over there with stuff, good stuff. And then he continued. Once he was on a solo career, those are really good lyrics for the next cassette. All right, next one. That was number 4. Next one up. Don't Stand So Close to Me. You have it at number 2. I have it at number 5. And you know what? I probably would have re-ranked it had I didn't listen before I gave it to you. I did not listen to the remake version. I like the remake version. I probably would have put it higher if I would have based it on just that. Because that's how good.
Well, we're just basing it on. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, but we're basing it on just the
yeah, similar to
which one ranked better? Probably the
original.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure the remake. It wasn't on the radio. It was just that MTV video, and that was it. So luckily, I was still able to see it. But you can't hear that on the radio, which is a shame because it's really good. But that I don't know if it's Carl Jung. Did he do Lolita? Because that's what that song's based on.
No, but I did read who was Lolita. I can't remember. Lolita is based.
I know you got the James Mason movie way back when in the 50s. I've seen that one.
That has to do with the Lolita. Has to do with the lyric that he rhymes that people were upset about that he rhymed. Like that book from Nabokov.
Oh, right, because of
That-
the rhyme.
Yeah.
They didn't like the rhyme.
Yeah, they didn't like the rhyme.
Again, that's the controversy.
He used to be an English teacher, and everybody's like, "Is that song autobiographical?" And he's like, "No." No, but he was saying how he was a teacher, and there's all these pretty girls, and he's like, "I have no idea how I kept my hands off them."
Right, right.
But yeah, he said it was not.
Yeah. Okay, that was number 3 from Zenyatta Mandata. So 2 songs from Zenyatta Mandata. And then Ghost in the Machine, our 3rd song from that, is Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic. I have this one at number 2, you have it at 4. And one thing I like about this, this is the first time he has the lyrics that he repeated on Synchronicity, where he says, we have a big enough umbrella, but it's always me that ends up getting wet. He played that in
Shadows in the Rain, I believe.
Oh, it's in Shadows in the Rain, but what's the song on the scene? Is it Miss Grodenko?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
I
you're right.
think it's on that too. So, yeah, why he keeps repeating
Repeats
that
the
one?
one.
And he does this. He does that twice. He does it in the chorus, and then at the end when it's fading out, he says it again. All right, and then for the third time in a row, maybe.
I think I've said this before, where we did another video and I brought up Avril Lavigne does it a lot in her, just before the chorus, where they stop, da 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 da, every little thing, and the music stops while they sing and then it comes back in. I like when they do that kind of stuff.
All right, 3rd week in a row where we both agree on number 1. We've mentioned that a couple times already. That I think we know the best song is because it's post-apocalyptic, right?
Is that why?
No, and then you know what? Andy Summers is not known for guitar solos, but the way he screeches his guitar on this song in particular.
I heard a rumor that was actually Sting. This was way back when I heard it was Sting that screams that. In the video, doesn't it show him screaming?
Oh.
I don't know if it's actually. I would think it's the guitar screeching, but
yeah, I would think it's a guitar. But Synchronicity 2 is our top song, and I like the video too. Obviously, the trash is blowing all over the place.
Well, I just like. Do you not when it comes on? You sing the lyrics to it. You're like.
Yeah, and he's hanging from that wire. You hopefully he's got a net underneath him. But again, lyric wise, you got hints of the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
They mentioned Rice Krispies. The line about somebody you kicked in the crotch, or a thinking the way the boss treats you, it's like a kick in the crotch. But yeah, really good lyrics.
Yeah.
This is definitely a song you sing.
And he's talking about when they're in the cars, it's like
rush hour.
Rush hour.
Like, driving.
Yeah,
go!
they feel like sardines, I guess.
So really good lyrics, and that's the top song. And too bad it didn't get to keep going, but they played Shea Stadium, so done. Actually, when it comes to Shea Stadium, I don't remember Police. Billy Joel put out a concert from Shea Stadium. That's what I remember. So, and it was huge. You could tell that it fits a lot of people in there, obviously. Maybe more than an indoor coliseum. So, all right, was that your list? Do you agree? You're like, why is Roxanne not in the top 10? It's like Born to Run to me. It's like, I don't like it, even though it's popular to a lot of people. So, comment, share, like,
subscribe.
And next week,
at least view the video.
Next week, our band has 4 members, not 3. But their career was not even this long lasting. So we're not going to give you any more than that. Till then, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.